I think we can kind of get started out here in these streets. I think we got enough people in here, and people will continuously join and stuff like that. So we will be good. One, I want to say welcome, y'all. This is my second live, but my first Bag Talk live where I actually have a guest, and not just any guest. I have like my homegirl, my one of my favorite people to talk to. Like she gives you real motivational vibes. Like when you talk to her, you are going to automatically want to be around her and be in that aura and be in that energy. And so I'm like really geeked and excited to have her on today. So y'all can like just witness some of the dope vibes that she has. Like, and then witness our conversations. I can't lie, like me and her have these deep bag talky kind of conversations damn near every day. Like we were talking earlier and then we were giving bag talk vibes, and we decided to table it so we can do it here. So I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, want to say one thing. So the theme of this week's bag talk is the magic in action, and so that theme came about due to a dream that I had. Right, I am a very spiritual person in the way that like spirit really speaks to me is through my dreams. And so I had a particular dream where I was with a bunch of women, the Daughters of the Divine, if you know them, shout out Emoji Sade. And in the dream, spirit was wrapping itself around our feet in the form of like incense smoke. And what it was basically saying was allow for spirit and God to guide your steps, right? Take movement, like move, take action. Allow for spirit to move you forward. But trust that when you move forward, that spirit gonna have your back, right? The moment you stop, the moment you get in fear, the moment you start second guessing yourself is the moment that the magic is gonna stop. And so the dream really just resonated with me. And since then, I have been on 10. I don't know if y'all noticed, I've been on 10. And my life has been on 10. So the way I see it is I'm gonna keep moving. And I wanted to bring Kayla on here today because I think she's the epitome of this. This woman, I've seen her hit the ground running and I cuss a lot, and hit the ground running and really start her career in this way, in this like momentous way. So yeah, I'm going to join with her now, figure out how to do that. Kayla, can you request to join? Can you do that for me, love? Because I'm trying to figure out how to do. Yeah, Kayla, can you request for me, shorty? But yeah, it's gonna be a good conversation. Y'all gonna love it. She's dope. Whenever she requests to join. Hopefully that's soon. Kayla. Oh, there you go. My bad. Okay, let's see if it's working. Accept it. Hey!
Hola.
We did it! Woo!
Like excited and nervous, and it's like at home by myself doing this live.
I'll say, don't be nervous. I feel like we do this all the time.
I
So.
know, I know. Literally, we'll just start going. So I watch the clock. Talking to you, I look up, it'll be 2 hours later.
Nah, that's real. That's real. That's the way we go. But even if we did do that, y'all would get lots of gems. So it won't even feel like you're sitting in on some homegirls.
It's true.
Yeah.
I feel all sophisticated. I got my little mug.
Ooh, can we look at this mug right quick? Give us a little shot at it.
Really cool gift, guys. So one thing about me, I like a little dabble with the ganj here and there. And I was gifted this really cool mug that I'm obsessed with now. So, anywho.
Yeah. So, Kayla, welcome. I'm glad that you're here today. I know you were on there earlier when I was talking a little bit about you. And just your momentum and how this year you have like skyrocketed and you're continuing to skyrocket and just really put yourself out there and embody the whole vibe of there is magic in action, right? So one, I was, just want to see if you could tell the people a little bit about yourself, a little bit.
This is like always the funniest question. Uh, well, I'm originally from Virginia. I think half of like the people who follow me know that, and maybe another half of like new followers don't. So I've been in Atlanta since 2015, but I was born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia, 757. What up? What up? Anyway, um, and I am a Navy baby, so my parents were both in the military, and I think, in recent years, I've realized I think that their military background has driven a lot of the way that I move. As far as, they weren't like crazy strict, but they were definitely big on boundaries, big on, curfews and time frames. And I think that portion of them was instilled in me that makes action a little easier for me. So, outside of that, like I've always just been like a really laborious person. I'm really big on like working.
You are.
You know me to the point of like I'll work myself in the ground, and so those are new boundaries I'm to set. Being a new entrepreneur, it's a huge, huge thing. But outside of that, like a lot of people will ask me like where this like girl who speaks dog thing is. A lot of people think like dog whisperer, but a lot of that really stems from my childhood. I was obsessed with dogs growing
Hold on,
up.
wait. Can you tell them what you actually do first? Because I don't think they even know that yet.
Oh, yeah, true. Because your people don't really know me like that.
Yeah.
So I'm a dog trainer, but I really self-title myself as a dog owner therapist, which is more focused around the owner and the owner's mental health and their state of mind, their skill set and their ability to create their dog. So I do obviously offer dog training, but I feel like my programs are a little different than that because I've been working with dogs for I think almost 12, 13 years at this point, which is crazy to even say. Um, but I just try to really help people understand dogs. And one thing about a lot of dog trainers are like really great with dogs, but aren't necessarily like people. But I feel like I am. I feel like I connect really well with owners. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Dog owner therapist in short. So when I was younger, my parents, being that they were in the military and they were busy, they would never let me have a dog. And the dogs we had for three like dogs when I was super young, barely remember. But I think they were always just overwhelming for my parents and they had to rehome them. So I never really got to have my own. So I was like ridiculous as a kid. And I don't even know if I've told you this before, Khadijah. I used to like literally act like a dog, like physically walk around. I shake my
You did not tell me that.
and I would like act like a dog. And looking back, I think it was just like a child's, trauma response of like, I really want this and you won't let me have it. So now I act like it.
Right.
But like, even back when I was like a kid, I used to like get on my computer and like make flyers for people in my neighborhood to like wash their dogs and like walk their dogs just because I wanted to be around dogs all the time. So like I don't know, growing up I was just like super obsessed with dogs, really animals in general. And I was also obsessed with helping people and making money. So I always knew like I'm somehow gonna put all this shit together. I don't know how we'll get there, but I'm just gonna keep doing. So yeah, I don't know. Since I was younger, like I've always just been like, let's figure this out. Let's make some money. Let's do something. So
So speaking of you, putting things together, when did you get back from Chicago again?
So I guess for them to know too. So this whole I've been working with dogs for a long time, but I went to Chicago, y'all, and I had to live there. Originally, it was only supposed to be for 6 months. I think it ended up being a little longer. Literally 2 weeks after I got there, and this is like original COVID, not these new variants. This was
Not the Omarion.
right, not any of that. The OG of the COVID hit when I was in Chicago, so I ended up having to stay there and train. And the whole point was that I was hired by this company. I was going to train with them and moved back to Atlanta to like open a branch for this company. So I did that and got back from that last September. Yeah, last September.
Okay.
I was working for that company all the way up until May of this year.
That's where I got May from.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And so May was when I decided, for a whole nother reason, might be a whole nother day, a whole nother live, a whole nother conversation. But I ended up leaving that job and taking the leap of faith of just working for myself. So I've officially been working for myself since May 20.
And when I tell y'all, like, when she started working for herself, like, I get excited when I say this, but her energy was on 10. You know, when she told us, she was like, you know, I think I'm just going to start doing this for myself. I'm really good at this, yada, yada, yada. Like, I already have clientele. Like, I'm just going to do this. And the moment that she decided, it was like things were just happening for her in this magical way. It's crazy.
It was crazy. But no, and honestly though, I do have to stop you there. It wasn't just myself saying I could do it. It was you and Kelsey. And at the time, our friend RJ and our friend Damien. These people were in my brain constantly like, girl, you got this. Why don't you just do this for yourself? You got this. And I think it was just the fact that y'all were so casual and so like, this is a no-brainer that made me like, you're right. Like, it is a no-brainer. Like, I could do this. And right, like once I get my mind set on something, I'm just gonna do it. Like it's sink or swim. Fuck it. We're gonna try it. We're gonna see. And yeah, I don't know. It's been great. It's been great ever since that.
So it has been great. I kind of what'd you say?
You have a front row seat to this.
No, yeah, I feel like I've literally watched everything happen to like when there may be a hiccup in the road, right? Yeah. I saw her not stop in fear, like I was talking about earlier, not stop and be like, oh, I don't know what to do. Just keep moving forward, and like life will just unfold. Like here's your next step,
right?
You know what I mean? Like
you might not know where it's coming from, but it will appear.
But it is coming.
Mm-hmm.
For damn sure. What I wanted to talk about, like, is that shift. I feel like there was something in you. There was like some moment in you where everything clicked. And I remember, because you know, you was hustling like beforehand. You had like a couple jobs,
free,
and that, like, Shawty was all over the place, and then it was just like bam. And next thing I know, it was just like this.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I'm sure that there was like some moment where I just woke up and was like, something's got to change. But the main thing that I can remember is hiring my personal trainers at the time. IB and Bella with Fitted Now. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. I hired them through our friend Kelsey. Worked with them years ago. And I had kind of watched her go through a transformation, like at the height of our friendship back when I like first moved here. And it was really inspiring. And I felt like I was in like a rut. You kind of know how I was. Like I wasn't happy at that job, you know, and I was working it and I just wasn't feeling good. And physically I could feel that. Like not only was I gaining weight, but it was like my hair was really dry. I was like losing hair. I was like I had a really crazy like sleep schedule. I was like, I know this is weird, but I was like really gassy. Like I just felt everything fell off. And I was like, you know what? Something's got to change. And so taking that step, I remember the day that I talked to them, I literally took like a leap of faith. We did like a consult, and they really like 15-minute conversation made me feel like these people could help me really make some changes. And I got off the phone with them. They were like, you know, let us know what you want to do. And I literally called them back 10 minutes later and was like, send me the invoice. Let's get this program going. And it was like just starting that. And I think for me, it was just having something to like commit to that I was going to be about. Yeah, like that routine. And I'm not a huge routine person. So for me, it was like, okay, it's time for some self-discipline. And it completely changed my life. Like after, I would say maybe like a couple weeks into that program, I went ahead. I remember being like, I remember our bar taco nights. It was at bar taco, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to my 2 weeks notice. Like, I think I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And it was like, that was so empowering that after that, it was just a whole snowball effect of like, well, now you're going to get a new place to live and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And it was crazy. So I really do think a lot of my biggest shifts come from people in my life that give me that like little umph of like, you know, kind of people who just put a mirror up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Reference you all the time. Like, you will just put that mirror in front of me like, look, what you gonna do? You gonna barbecue, go mildew, what we doing? And so I just had to do it. So yeah, I would say definitely that was probably the biggest shift for me that made everything just completely change.
Mm-hmm. I want to note a few things that you said there, right? How you made the choice, right? You were kind of unsure, but you were unsure, but you talked about it. People like gave you that, like, I don't want to say that that validation, like, oh, you can do this. And so you took the next step, right? And then taking that next step, you were like, I really want to feel good about myself, so let me go ahead and get this trainer, right? And it may have been something that you felt like was pricey, or it may have been something you was like, damn, this might hurt my pockets, and I'm trying to start something new.
Yeah.
Something in you was like, take the next step.
Yeah, I had to. It was, and it's always kind of been that for me, where it's like something will bother me to the point it's almost like a gnat. Like, stop thinking about it. And it's all my conversations. Somehow, no matter what I'm talking about, it will come back down to this problem that I'm having, or this change I feel like I need to make. It's always like that. And I think that kind of is a testimony to what we're talking about, how the magic is in the action. Like, think you can have ideas, you can manifest all day long, and while that's a huge role to play in your shift, you have to fucking just do it. Like, you have to just jump. And if you don't just jump, be stuck in these thoughts and these ideas. So I think that's the biggest thing that's always been one of my strong suits, is like, I'm not really scared to take those leaps. I might act nervous and I might like procrastinate, but you know, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna make some shit happen. And so I think that's really, I just had to get my mind there.
Mm-hmm.
It's time.
Mm-hmm. I would say, like, watching your movement has really inspired me to move on my own, especially when it comes to like spiritual with the bag. You know, like, I was very used to helping someone else move their dreams along, and I would take action, but I would take action with someone else's things, and I'll make that shit work. And not just work, I'll make it grand and great. Right. But when it came to my own stuff, I would just ideate and sit there and ideate all day long and tell you, oh, this is what I want to do, this is what I want, but I don't have enough time. Right. I don't have enough this. Right. I can't really do that. I can't really. And I saw you, for real, Kayla, like, I saw you just like keep making those choices and keep moving. And I was like, damn, I could do this. Yeah. And look at you. Nah, for real. Look where we at. Right. Like, if I, like, with you, I think that's the other thing that has always been inspiring for me. Like, you are such a huge, like, you can literally look at a situation, someone else's situation, and immediately be like, oh, you need this, 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 and this. And they be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I need. Wow. You know exactly what I need. And you are you have premonitions about things, like literal, like, I can't even, y'all don't even understand this woman, Khadijah. This is Miss Cleo, okay? Cleo, right now, this is who I'm on live with right now. Like, dreaming something or thinking something, and it'll even be in your physical movement. Sometimes I can see it where you're just like, I'm like, oh, she got one of them thoughts. You kind of hit that Raven, like. It's that's a real moment. I'll be like, it is, exactly. And so for me, like, being one of your friends and like being able to watch you literally go through that exact same thing, it's so funny you're saying that I'm inspired, because you were a huge inspiration for me to move. Just seeing how you moved and how you hustled, and like, you know, I've always told you and our friend Kelsey, like, growing up, I was like the oldest friend of my friends. I was driving before everybody. I was doing everything I had a job before all my friends. My first job, I was 14 years old. Like,
I was always like the mom friend. And so to move to Atlanta and like be the baby, even though y'all hate that, y'all always
Like, I don't know if you was the
right, right. Like I always have to like give y'all your flowers for that and what that did for me, because y'all have always been that for me. Like watching you just be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and oh, I met so and so, and I'm always like, even to this day, I'm like, damn, how you doing that? Like, you know, say like, oh, I'm finally doing this. That makes me so happy, because this is who you are. Like, to just embody this spiritual with the bag, it's so perfect. It's so you. And I feel like your magic in action that's happening now. And even, yeah, girl, look at you. Like, it's radiating off of it. Like, and people who I feel like are watching this that know you and follow you, and like, I hope y'all really understand, like, this woman is really making shit happen. And having people like that around you, I feel like is one of the biggest parts of making magic. Is like, it is your support system.
That's
you know,
a good point.
It is. It's your support system. It's the people, and not even necessarily your support system, because I think sometimes we get hung up on friends having to be supportive, like, and support meaning like, oh, you're going to purchase my product. You're going to attend my events, and you're going to be the first one in line. And it's like, sometimes it's just having somebody around you that really gets you and doesn't expect you to like do or be anything, but just kind of inspires you to like do it, you know? And so you've always been that for me, always. Like, and I think anybody who's wondering, like, well, how do I make something happen? Or if you're feeling like, oh, I'm kind of like stuck, it's so true to like look at your circle, look who's they doing with themselves, you know. And it doesn't necessarily mean that people who aren't like bad or wrong, but they might not be helping you assist the road you're going down, you know. Because, you know, I'm not about the cancel culture. I'm not big on, oh, if they ain't what you, cut them out. Like, no, you know, just like the other day, humans are fucking humans.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're humans. So just having somebody who, or having people around you who at least are like-minded and support what you're doing, even if it doesn't necessarily mean they're involved in what you're doing, that is a huge, huge thing that I think is a huge asset to any type of transformation in your life, for sure.
So not only, you know, you taking, you know, the continuous steps and actions and acting on, you know, the opportunities and the chances that come your way, but also making sure, it's almost like, if you're going to take that action, make sure you surround yourself in all the best possible light and the best possible energy, right? If you're going to do it, let me get my health together, right? If I'm going to do it, let me make sure I am with friends that are supporting me and loving on me and are loving on themselves and are supporting themselves and doing their own work. So that way I can look at them, they're mirroring me, we're mirroring each other, and we're just ascending and we're growing, you know? And it just makes things easier while you're on this transition. And I feel like you're living in the state of magic. So why the fuck wouldn't magic happen?
Right, exactly. And it's like, you have to also remember to not be so worried. I think you just made a really good point, like being around people who are also doing for themselves. Because when you're like you and I, it's very easy to want to help someone else's journey, because we kind of retreat back into that, like, I know how to help you. I see what you need. But it's the whole like pouring from an empty cup. Like, you can't give that away when you're in a transformation, or when you're trying to figure out what's your next move. And I think it's so easy for us to mistake all of like that mind, like, oh, well, fuck everybody. Like, I just need to get out of here. It's like, you don't have to do one extreme or the other. You just need to pay attention to that. Like, really, to what your friends are doing for themselves, and making sure you're not being by some of that energy too. So
I think you said you need to pay attention, right? And yes, you were talking about like pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention to that, but I think it's like a great segue to like just paying attention in general, right? There are so many opportunities that can come up. There are so many chances that can come up when you're alert, right? And you're paying fucking attention.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think like I remember we've been doing a lot of talking, but we haven't necessarily gotten personal, which I understand, because, you know, we don't be telling a lot of shits up on here, right? But I feel like you're really good at paying attention and noticing the opportunities that arrive around you and being able to see where they can take you, right? Like I was thinking, what is her name? She got the little dog, the cute little dog. Is it B Simone?
Yes. Talking
Yeah.
about Simona Uno?
Yeah, and how that happened. Even
Yeah.
how that happened.
I was
Like, you explain that to them?
Yeah, so with B Simone, that honestly that was the funniest thing ever. I really surprised myself with that.
Why you did, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. Like one thing about me with this whole dog stuff, like I started. You remember how I was in the beginning? I just wanted to help everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that needs help, I'm for the people. Like anybody, I don't care if you don't have $1 to your name. I'm gonna help you. And really quickly, I was exhausted with that because I was just giving and giving, and I was at qualms with myself about that too because I was like, I want to make a good living, but I also don't want to be charging people a leg. So with B Simone in particular, she had posted like a story. I have been following her for years because she's fucking hilarious, like
right.
funny. And she had posted a story about how she was scared of dogs and how she, growing up, I don't remember if she was attacked by a dog, the wrong thing, but I know that she's always been fearful. And so when I saw that immediately, because a big goal of mine is to be here for Black women in particular. I just feel like we don't see that enough in the realm, in the dog world. And so immediately my heart like poured her like, I can help you with this. Like, this is like made for me. It kind of goes back into the whole being a dog owner therapist. Like, to me, that was like, oh, you just need therapy. You need exposure. You need to see how it is to be around dogs. And so then when she announced that she was getting a dog to kind of help her get over her fears, I literally just went on my story and was like, y'all, everybody her, tag her, like, or tag me, send her my stuff, like, let her know that I can really help her with this. I'm like the perfect person for her. And literally within like an hour, she DM'd me and was like, everybody keeps telling me that I need to talk to you. So what's up? Your page is really cute. Like, how do we do this? And I was
Magic
like,
in action.
literally,
Sorry,
no, literally though, like, because I can think about it all day, but it was just not being afraid to say and also ask for that help. Like, hey y'all, like she's big on social media. Like, I need y'all's help. Like, put it out there. And it was, to me, it was also crazy how quickly people responded to that. Like, so many people were tagging me and like, and it felt really genuine. It wasn't just like, oh, go tell her. It was like, no, people were like, she helped me with my dog and like, this is the perfect person. And literally she DM'd me and like a couple days later I was at her house, and then 2 days after that I brought a bunch of puppies to her house to meet her puppy, and now Uno is at my house right now. In the kennel room right now. So it really is about just that movement and like the action, really just saying like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna try. I mean, what was the worst that was gonna happen? She wasn't gonna respond. And
exactly.
But the crazy thing is, the way my brain works, I would have just chalked it up to like, okay, we probably supposed to just meet in person. We both in Atlanta, so eventually we gonna run into each other either way. And I think that's a big part of Magic in Action too, is like not being afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And not even looking at failure as failure.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, that is where some real magic happens, when you like take an L and like not even look at it as like an L.
Right.
Like immediately something happens and you're, oh, well, that didn't work out because maybe I need my schedule free to meet this person. You know what I mean? Like, when you can start looking at everything that happens to you like that, nothing really feels wrong.
It doesn't.
It doesn't really feel like a failure anymore.
It doesn't.
Kind of like, that wasn't for me. And something you always would say to me is like, whatever's for you is for you.
Mm.
And I know that's kind of a cliche phrase, but like when you say that, I would always be like, you right.
But I believe that I'm a wholehearted believer as what is for you.
Absolutely.
Right. And yeah, and when the opportunity presents itself and it's supposed to be, it will be, and that's it. Right. Like the same way as to like when you first put out there like, hey, everybody go tag. I knew in that moment I was like, oh, she gonna get that. right? Because one, you're not the way. You love your friends. You have people that surround you that have great energy, right? You are very conscious of the energy that you keep, even with, I feel like, your followers, right? And so when you say, hey, like-minded people with great energy and this great, power of manifestation, let's all focus our energy on this one thing.
Right.
Like, I know this gonna fucking work.
Right. That shit is,
you know what I mean?
Real.
I know it's gonna work. And if it didn't work, it wasn't even supposed to be right then, or maybe it wasn't supposed to be because there's some other shit that you gotta do.
Exactly. And that's what I mean, like having that mindset, no matter what you do, whether you train dogs, you throw a football, you cook food, you sitting behind the call center desk all day, like when moments like feel unsettling or like feel like, damn, I didn't get that, you really have to remember like God is working on the back end. It's like that, that picture. I love that. It's like an old, like little cartoon where it's like a picture of God and he has this big ass teddy bear behind his back.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking away one from like a little old scraggly teddy bear from a girl. And she has no what he has for her. She's just so worried about losing this teddy bear that she's like distraught. You can see it in her face. But really, she doesn't even know on the other side it's about to be something way bigger, way better than you can even imagine. And I reference that picture in my mind a lot because that's such a true thing.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how bad or what you feel like you lost out on, like there's something else. It might not feel better in this moment, but there's something else better for you.
Oof, that makes me think about so that lesson used to be a very hard lesson for me to learn, right? When let's say if I felt like I worked really hard on something and I put all my energy towards it and something didn't work out, I would feel like fucking crumbled in the inside. I might not show it all the way out. Now everybody can see that, but in the inside, oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I'm horrible. How can I would really start to doubt myself. And it made me think about how I got my job, how I became an executive assistant to Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Like previous to that, I worked with this organization. It's a social justice organization, and I helped to build this program. And we bought this cool shed, and we had community houses that are still around because people still doing the good work, right? And we were doing all this amazing stuff. We had pro bono architects that were coming in wanting to redo. We were working on $1 million grants, and we was fucking working, okay?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, something came through and snatched all that shit from me. I'm talking about snatched it. Like snatched my ass dry. I ain't had no edges. I was just snatched. Like, and it hurt me. Like that shit, and it hurt me to my core. And I couldn't understand, like, why did this happen to me? Why did this, I poured my all into this guy. Like, why would you take this from me? Right. And I did not get it, right? Until something clicked in me and was like, because there's something else bigger that's coming.
Yeah.
And once I heard that, I believed it, and I didn't fucking question it. Yeah. So when I went on to my next job, I was working at, I did like a corporate job for like 3 months, and I was only there for 3 months because I knew I wasn't gonna be there long. Right. And while I was at that corporate job, and everybody would be like, "Oh, how you like it?" I'm like, "Oh, it's cool, but I'll be gone in a few months." So and they'd be like, "Where you going?" I feel something happening. Right. I believe there's something else. There's something else there.
That's that premonition shit. I'm telling you.
But it was just like, having that belief that what's for me is for me.
Right.
And so I needed to release and let go of what didn't work out, right? And be able to claim what will. Even though I didn't know what it was. I literally did not know what the fuck it was. Right. But I ended up having a dream that kind of told me, which is, I can do that in another live, which allowed for me to act on what the fuck, act on it. But long story short, I interviewed for the position with Toronto. I ain't hear shit back. But I kept saying to myself, I'm leaving soon with this or that. Something big about to happen.
Right.
He hit me up at 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday night and was like, by the way, you hired, you start tomorrow, quit your job. And so I went into my job and I told them
you was like, bye. I told you.
I'm out of here like I said I would. but I think it was like the releasing of the resistance, right? And the releasing of what wasn't for me and the claiming of, you see, Taylor, you saw me. I was out there quick. the releasing of what wasn't for me and claiming, you know, what I knew was for me. Right. And what I knew would be for my highest good. And to be honest with you, that job pushed me to be greater than what I thought I could ever be.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and real quick, just tell people, so people, I see there's some of like people that know me and don't know you. You have to tell people what it is you like. Not everyone knows who Tarana is, and not everyone knows what your role was. So just real quick, give like, you have to let them know, like, what was your role? And don't be modest.
You know, I'm really quiet on these things.
I know. And
it makes it feel a little awkward right now.
Our live, this isn't just a girl who speaks dog live. This is also a Khadijah Austin, spiritual with the bag. We know the queen, okay?
Right. Can y'all tell we good friends or not? Okay. So, I was the executive assistant for Tarana Burke, who was the founder of the Me Too movement. I was the executive assistant to the movement, and I was the executive assistant to the CEO of the movement. And which means that specifically, like, a lot of my work was around Tarana.
Yeah.
That's my ace. That's my girl, right? Yeah. But specifically, I'm kind of like the right arm, part of the left, a little bit of the brain. Like, I just make sure things happen. So all she had to do was just show up and everything was done. Like, I just did a lot of the behind the scenes work, very much a lot of triage work, a lot of forward thinking, and a lot of making shit happen. Right. Like, I would always say that whenever anybody would ask me what I do, I would say I get shit done.
Right.
And I wouldn't even say, like, who the fuck I work for. I would just be like, I work for a boss lady and I get shit done.
Right.
And that's it, because that's it.
That's why I said don't be modest on here, because I know that's how you've always kept it. Just like, it's because you wore so many hats, I feel like, in that role. Yeah. It was really hard to just say, like, this is the one thing I do.
Agreed.
It's so many things. But that's also a testimony to, like I was saying, like, who you are. Like, you have this way. I know you were really with Tarana in the very beginning stages of everything. So being able to see her vision and you be the one to put the action behind that, you know, of course, I mean, it was her.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah.
Just like we talked about, like, you have to have the people around you that can see that too, you know, and always that for her, like, any idea, anything she wanted to do, you were always the person to be like, oh, yep, got it, already done. You know? And so to me, just watching you now, seeing where you are and stepping into this light of your own is like, that is about to be some real magic, because I feel like people, if y'all are watching this and you know how huge the Me Too movement is and how much, I'm not going to let my friend be modest.
Come on, bro. I'm about to say, I don't never talk about this much.
You played a huge role in this. You know, you played a huge role in that. And Tarana even gave you your flowers behind that. She knows how much that you have contributed to that. So now you being able to turn all that and all the things you learned and all those connections that you made, people, and not just for like a celebrity status, but true, genuine people who are community driven like you are. I just feel like you about to just take off. Like, it's just, and I know you feel it. Like, I know you feel it.
I can't even lie. I feel it. I feel it so much that I'm like, y'all, like, come get some of this good shit now. Right. Because a year from now, it's going to be a little harder to get some of the good shit. So you might as well get now so you can have access. Because
that's so funny. I literally, when I first started working for myself, I felt the same way. And honestly, it's still new. Like, I've only been in business for myself, like, 7 months now? Mm-hmm. But I would feel the same way. Like, y'all better get this now while these prices low, while the schedule, I'm not booked and busy. Like, come on. So I'm excited for you because I know exactly how you feel right now, and all because of your actions. And that is so crazy. Like, I'm just proud of you.
I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, it's that magic in action. Everything that has happened to me in my life, big monumental moments. Because I often feel like I don't want this to sound big-headed, but I know something big is supposed to happen. Only because the way that things happen for me is in this real, like, serendipitous, God-driven, how the fuck did that happen kind of way.
Right.
but when it happens, I act like that. Like I don't take, like I had a reading, and in that reading, shout out to Emoji Sade. She's literally like the best ever, whoever's done it and did it. I had a reading with her, and in the reading, it came up that I needed to move because at that time I was staying with my sister, and I was like stacking my bread and like paying off debt and getting my credit score together and stuff like that. Kayla, you there? Oh shoot. Oh man. Y'all there? Are y'all still there? Or no?
I'm back, baby. I don't know what
Okay.
happened.
I don't know either. It got me nervous.
This is only like my second time going live, y'all. I don't know what happened. But anyway, I wasn't gone for long.
Okay. Are people still in here? Okay, y'all still here.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I see it coming back. Okay, cool. I was a little concerned for a second. What was the last thing you heard me say?
You were in the middle of talking about Tarana again, but it was like blurry and just cut off, so I don't know.
Damn it,
it's all right. It don't matter. It don't matter.
I don't even know what I was talking about, but
That's
magic make things happen. Oh no. I was just saying sorry. I was saying how like, certain what'd you say?
Feels like a real phone call between us right now.
No, yeah, we do this like all the time. Oh, my reading. Yeah, thank you, Fati. Thank you so much, Fatima. On it. Yeah. So I had the reading and it in the reading it said I was supposed to move. And I need to move by the end of the year and stuff like that. And I kind of was like, all right, I'll get to it. I'm still stacking my bread and paying off debt and like, trying to raise my credit score. So I'm just working on a lot of things. The end of the year rolls around, all the other stuff in the reading I was doing besides that thing, okay? Right. And I was like, I'll move later. It's COVID. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And then, Fati, I don't know if you even want me to say this, but I love you, Fati. Fati had a reading of her own. In the reading, the reader was like, why hasn't your sister moved yet? And I kind of was like, oh, shit. Like, like I was shook because I was like, this is happening from someone else. Right. I need to move, which means it's time for me to fucking move. Right. Yeah. Like I need to move. And so, like I said, magic in action, right? The moment that happened, I was like, okay, then I'm gonna do it. So I started acting on it. I started finding places, looking up stuff. And when I was looking stuff up, I started to limit my thinking on what I could get. And so I was looking at like smaller places, way far out, things that I didn't fucking want. Right. And then something in me was like, no, bitch, go for what you want. You want something in a nice area, a nice neighborhood. You want to be able to walk out on the belt line. You want a cityscape right there, a restaurant. Find what the fuck you want. And all I'm going to say is in 3 weeks, I found my perfect spot for a great deal that don't make no damn sense. But again, like I said, things just be happening for me. I manifested like fucking $10,000 like that in 3 weeks. I don't even understand how the hell that happened, made that happen. But it was just the fact that like, I didn't stop, right? And I kept moving. And the moment that like God or spirit or like that intuition was like, hey, you should check this out. Hey, you should do that. Hey, you should like listening to that inner voice, but being still enough to hear and recognize the inner voice over ego and over doubt. Yes. Was the important thing. But when I started doing that, like,
yeah, it's like finding that balance between the movement and the action that you have to take, but also the stillness and the trust that you lean into. It's such a weird like catch-22 because it's like I gotta hit the ground running, but I also have to know when to pause for a second and just kind of relish in these moments. When is it a time for me to absorb what's happening? When is it a time for me to like reach out and grab what's happening? And I feel like you've always been really, really intuitive about that. Like you kind of know when is the time to just slow down. And I think a lot of that comes from you just knowing yourself really well. So you kind of know you're so in tune with like what's happening around you that you can kind of sense when it's like you said, like you got the the reader for your sister said that to make you like, okay, well, yeah, that I know now. And it's just like you are able to do that in a way that is really inspiring for me, because even though I feel like I make moves, you know how I am. I will sit there and like ponder and second guess and like uh I'm going too fast. And there's been many a times where you've told me like, maybe you should just like not do anything. Maybe you should like settle down and just like relax. And I would be like, what? See what happens? How can I see what happens? I have to do something. And it's like, no, I do. And that's something that I've actually got in our friendship that has made me successful now, is like I am able to just be like, I ain't gonna do shit today. And that's okay. I'm a terrible person. I'm not gonna be behind, because we can't really show up and do the things we want to do if we don't have that rest and replenishment. You know, it's art. It's a huge part of it.
Huge.
And all my life, again, I think it comes from like my military high ranked chief of a mother. Like, just do it. Let's do it. We can just do it. Let's get it done. Let's just do it. Do it today. Do it now. And it's just like, no, didn't always have to be done right now all the time. Like, I feel like I am stronger when I practice that self-care, you know, and when I have those moments of stillness. So, you know, there's magic in stillness too. Maybe that should be part 2 of the life.
Also, what kept coming to my head, like, okay, the way, like, I don't even know how to explain this, because I don't talk about this a lot with a lot of people, but the way, like, spirit moves me is, like, through different, like, I might see images, right? And those images give me better insight. I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, when you were talking, and you were talking about, like, the balance and you know, having the balance between the two and when you need to take that break, what came to me was that's the whole point of Spiritual with the Bag, right? Letting your spirit guide and guide your bag.
Right.
Because when you're letting your spirit guide your bag, when you are resting and replenishing and taking that time and you're tuned in, right? When you're locked into who you are, like, it's easier for you to get the bag clear. It's easier for you to go after your goals because you can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it. Right? But if you're not balanced in that, if your spirit, if that's not guiding, you know, your bag, you just shooting all over the fucking place. And next thing you know, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're burnt out. You wonder why you got headaches. You wonder why you're halfway passing out. You wonder why you fucking hate everybody around you. It's like because you're not balanced.
Right. And you get in this almost like resentful mode. I know I do. I can speak for myself. When I don't get enough rest, I start resenting everything. I start pointing the finger. Well, this person should have did this, and this client should have. I don't know why they are texting me at this time of night. Like the things that when I am well rested and in a good mindset don't bother me at all. If anything, I'm happily welcoming them now because I have not replenished myself the way that I need to. I'm lashing out and pointing that finger at everybody else. And that is such a toxic space to be in because you kind of lose sight of what you have control over, which at the end of the day is only yourself. You don't have control over anything else but you and what you do and your thoughts and your emotions and your actions. And so, you know, that rest, man, it's like being hungry and getting hangry. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you haven't replenished yourself. It's like I have those moments. So I have realized, especially now working for myself, like that rest is a part of running a business.
Right.
Part of it.
Speaking of rest, I wanted to ask you a question. Since you are, you know, the mover and shaker of all movers and shakers right now, like this is on her thing and doing her thing. She works hardest. She work hard. You ever see her live? You be seeing like 10 dogs. I'm exaggerating, but you'll see a lot of dogs out there.
It be 10 here sometimes.
And being cute and all that kind of shit. Like she's on her thing. But how do you rest and replenish yourself during this time? And how do you know when you need to?
So I usually know when I need to, when I'm starting to feel that kind of grumpy, resentment stuff I was talking about. I can kind of, you know, where I'm just maybe a little snappy or like, another thing I'll do when I know I need to is I start ignoring people where like I just, and I try to tell myself I'm ignoring you because I need to set this boundary because I need the rest. But in truth, I just don't have the energy to I don't have the capacity to give anybody anything. Or maybe I'm feeling so unsettled that like, I'm like, I don't even want to be around you because I don't even want to give you any of my. So when I start feeling like that, I'm like, okay, this is probably time for me to take a day or take a trip or something, like I know I need something. And so what I've recently tried to do is my like regimen stuff is like my hair stuff. So like cleaning my house, lighting candles, like making my house smell really good. Aside from the fact that I constantly have dogs here and I hate smelling like dogs. Like, yeah. I'm like mortified if somebody walks in and is like, this stinks. I'm like, no. I don't want you to know any dogs are here. So like cleaning my house and then deep conditioning my hair and like really taking the time to do it. I was just recently talking about this in one of my stories about how I usually, how my hair is how I feel. So like if my hair is like wrapped up, thrown back, looking crazy, looking like it need to be washed, it's probably because I'm going through it and I'm not taking the time for this. Like my hair, I'm a big foodie, so whether it's cooking for myself or actually like treating myself to something, and not necessarily, before I used to treat myself to like unhealthy things and like give myself the excuse, but now it's more like, no, I actually feel good treating myself to healthy things. So like here for me earlier this week or last week was spending damn near $300 on good groceries. I was happy about it because I was like, yeah, I know you a farmer's market girl. If they ever have sponsors, you. So it's mainly just like true replenishment for me is how I practice self-care, like taking care of my skin, my hair, my nails, going and getting like a manicure, going and getting a massage, like kind of things that allow me to kind of surrender myself a little bit are typically how I practice self-care.
Surrender.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. Let somebody else do it.
Right. I do a lot. We go home, let them do the work while I relax.
Right. And not worry about this so much. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I do it.
Okay. We down to our last 5 minutes.
I know.
So I felt, initially we talked about this earlier. I was like, I don't know how long this is gonna run. I don't know if thinking are we gonna run out of topics, but It's me and you. Like,
we ain't never gonna run out of a topic.
We do this all the time.
Yes.
This is part of the reason why I started Spiritual with the Bag, and I've kind of shifted what Spiritual with the Bag is. Right? I love deep conversations. I don't like surface level shit. That's just not who I am, and I'm just gonna be honest with it. I don't do surface level shit. So.
Guys, I have to let you know, we are 2 Scorpio women, by the way. And so ain't no such thing as surface level shit.
No, I'm diving in there. I'm diving in there deep. And if I do, well, actually, I don't even want to get into that if I do surface level.
I bet. I can't live go off without letting them know who they was talking to real quick.
Right. But I don't do surface level things. I enjoy deep conversations that have meaning and that have impact, and that I enjoy those sisterhood bonds where it ain't just no fluff. I'm not having no fluff with you. I'm having real ass talks.
Right.
Real ass talks to the point where if I'm fucking up, you're gonna be like, I love you.
Right.
So you're fucking up.
Right.
And I'm gonna be real enough to be like, that hurt.
But I appreciate it.
Right. I'm gonna marinate on that, and we're gonna talk in the morning. You know what I mean? Like having those deep conversations, and I feel like that's why it was needed. That's why I'm like, I really want to do Spiritual with the Bag. I have these conversations with people all the time.
Right.
So why not be able to do this on a larger platform and to be able, to let these conversations inspire or to help others, because we constantly pouring into each other. And helping each other grow. So why not be able to, facilitate others to do that with their friends, and their people.
Right.
And then also, be able to facilitate that in a safe space.
Absolutely. And just starting the conversation. I think that hopefully people that are watching, that's what they kind of see in how we speak to each other. You have to just have those conversations. Sometimes we get stuck up here that we don't talk about it. We don't talk about these type of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm really excited for Spiritual with the Bag, because you're gonna have so many different people that you're gonna have conversations with, that I feel like I'm gonna be watching, like, because it's just something about listening to women talk about the things we go through. Like, we were silenced for so long. Like, this is what we need.
Right.
So I'm just so proud of you, girl. So proud.
Thank you. You know, I'm proud of you too. Like I said, I just, y'all don't understand. Like, I've always been proud of Kayla, and I've always seen, like, I've always seen Kayla, if that makes any sense. Like I told y'all before, the way that I see through spirit is very visual. I can see somebody. I don't even want to say this out loud, but I'm going to say it. I can see somebody, and I can know some shit about you that I ain't even supposed to know. I don't know how the fuck I know. But right. Yeah. And I'll just say that, like, when I saw Kayla, first I was like, who this girl that got this energy where she can read people? I know she can read people too. What she got going on? Who this girl? Right. And then, but when I, like, really took the time to, like, see her, I was like, oh, I see what she could be. Oh shit. Oh, she need a TV show. She need a book.
I was trying not to cut you off, but you've always said that to me before. That was something I even saw for myself. So it's very true how you see in other people what they can't even see in themselves sometimes, because you would tell me that before we even really knew each other like that. You would be like, I could see you on TV or something. And I used to be like, for real? Me? For real? I could see me doing that too. And I never that way. So
I don't know why, because, you know, sure, I guarantee, I swear to God, no, but seriously, I swear for God, like, Kayla is gonna be one of them people that you see. Like, you're gonna see her here on this live today. You're like, oh, that was the cute girl with the curly hair. She likes dogs. And then you're gonna be like 5 years down the line, like, reading this book with your dog. You'll be like, damn, this person in this book looks just like that girl Kayla. And you're gonna see her little paw print. Show everybody the paw print that's on her mug is her actual, like.
No, it's not. I wish it was.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay, my bad.
It would be cool though. But I'm paw print out, y'all. That's my logo, is a paw print with my little face in the middle of it. But that's coming next. Now that I've seen this mug is possible, that's coming next.
But I guarantee she's gonna be one of them people where you see her mug, see her face, see her energy all over the place, because that's where she headed. That's literally where she ain't stopping at all. That's where she's headed. And even when she's in a place of, like, hibernation, or she's in a place of, like, being still, it's almost like you being still, right? So you can get all the energy you need, so you can make whatever replenishing is possible.
Replenishing, girl. That's the season for me. This time of year, I hibernate.
Yeah.
This is hibernation time. I come alive in the spring and the summer. Me too. So much. Like, you have always spoke affirmations into me, and I just really cannot express enough, like, how much that has driven me to do what I do. So it's like, I appreciate hear you talking, you know, saying that, you know, you just do it. And it's like, this is true, but I really, really don't know how I would have navigated that without people like you in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's watching this, one, if you ain't following, you must be following Khadijah because you're watching this. But if you ain't following Spiritual with the Bag, you need to right now, especially us women, but everybody. These are conversations for everybody. And also, just, I want to leave everybody with remembering that you have to believe in yourself. It's so real. You have to believe in yourself. No matter what it is your goal is, you really can make it happen. But it has to also be realistic. That's the other thing. And I think people, sometimes we get caught up in, like, whatever, you could be whatever you want to be. And it's like, while that is true, you have to know yourself enough to know what that looks like for you. Because at one point I wanted to be, what did I want to be? I wanted to be a veterinarian growing up. But I don't like classroom setting education, and I don't like mathematics. And these are all key pieces of being a veterinarian. You know, say this to say, really, whatever it is you want to do, start with getting to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And start again with like paying attention to who's around you, because for me personally, that has played a huge role in where is my Khadijah's. For sure. I love you, girl.
I love you too. And I also want to add a few things. Like you said, actually take those steps, believing in yourself, being realistic about your goals, right? And shit just don't happen. You need plans, right? You need some kind of something, right, to help yourself move forward. Having that plan, also being in that mindset. If you haven't noticed today, we've spoken a lot of life into each other. We've subconsciously been very conscious with our words and how we talk about things, right? We talked about how, when shit didn't work out, instead of me being like, oh, what was me, goddamn, like, what the fuck? Like, I was able to be like, you know what, that ain't meant.
Right.
I ain't gonna stress that shit, that ain't meant.
Not mine.
It is not even mine. The issue ain't even mine, so we're not even gonna dwell on that shit.
Right.
And it opens you up to new energy, right? And it allows for new things to happen. And I feel like, it puts you in that sweet spot of manifestation and that sweet spot of magic that allows for everything to be possible. Right before I got on here, I was on a call with the Daughters of the Divine, which is like this amazing women's group of like really spiritual, amazing women. And that was one of the things that I keep saying Emoji Sade because she the shit. I need to like tag her in here or something so I can see this, right? Because she's the shit. But in there, that's what we were talking about, was like being conscious of your words. Right? And not claiming something that ain't even for you.
Right.
Like being like, oh, I'm always sick and my life is always shitty. And my favorite one, niggas ain't shit in Atlanta. Fuck these niggas. Like, or this thing. I don't claim none of that shit. I don't want none of that. Even when I was out here in these trenches of the Atlanta Main Street, I ain't claim none of that shit. I was like, oh, guys are great.
What's that real? Y'all speaking another language. I don't speak that.
I don't speak that. I
don't speak that one.
I don't do that. And then even having people around you that help you see that, like, sometimes I have my moments where like I'm speaking some shit that I shouldn't even be speaking on myself, right? And I'll be around my peoples, or Fati might be like, we don't speak that, in her own way. Or I might talk to you and you'll be like,
the term broke. Exactly. Yes. We're not broke. Nothing broken here.
No.
Okay.
No, we not broke. Our money not broke. My heart not broke. My this not broke. I ain't claim.
Right.
Ain't nobody claiming that.
No.
Because I don't have to.
Right.
We get really stuck on like I said, I'm visual. So I'm like seeing things on how I want to say it. But the way I see it is life is about duality.
Right.
You wouldn't know love if you didn't know hate. You wouldn't know anger if you didn't know peace.
So,
like that's how we experience God, right? It's through those things. It's through that duality of life. Like you ain't no goddamn way you could know what anger was if you didn't even know what the fuck happiness was. You couldn't, right? That's how we experience God. And like, because I feel like once you become conscious of that, you start to notice the kind of words that you use, right? Like I've been so used to, I will say that, I spent a good part of my life experiencing the world through words that did not speak life into me. Right? And I saw how that ended up for me. I saw what that was like for me. I knew what that felt like. I relished in it. I was just all in that shit. And so now with me being conscious, right, I am choosing to do the other because it's just that easy. If I've been choosing I'm really loud, y'all. I'm very animated. But if I've been choosing my whole life, to live in this negative space because it's easy, who's to say that the other ain't easy? Who's to say me making a choice and being like, this is possible. I'm plentiful.
Right.
My funds is coming.
Right.
My bag is on the way.
Right.
My happiness is here. It's just looking at me. It's just gonna shine a little brighter later. Like, why? Who's to say that I can't think in that way? And I'm not saying that it's easy. because it ain't easy, because you're really like reprogramming your mind, right? But I feel like it's all energy.
It is.
What well are you gonna choose to pull from? You gonna choose to pull from the one with the negative words and the negative shit? Or are you gonna choose to pull from the ones with the positive and the vibes that vibrate and that's gonna get you to where you wanna be?
Right,
And
exactly.
that's what it is.
Exactly. I actually had a similar earlier this year, right when I started my business. I would always walk into clients' homes and I would say, I'd introduce myself, they'd tell me their name, and I would immediately say, I'm terrible with people names, but I'm not going to forget your dog's name. Thought that was so clever and like, ha ha ha, and everybody would chuckle. And it literally like, it's like this rehearsed line that I had to put out there, like, don't feel bad if I don't remember your name, instead of being like, wait a second, I'm not about to claim that. I want to get better at actually remembering people's names. I want to be more genuine with that. I don't want to claim I'm going to forget your name before I've even had a chance to forget it. So you're so right when you say reprogramming. Like, it's literally a choice that you make. Like, I actually heard myself say that one day. And I think really what happened was a client was just like, you're not going to forget my name, or something's real simple like that. Like, you goddamn right, I'm not going to forget you. I'm going to remember your name. I'm going to remember everybody's name. I'm going to. And now I like pride myself on not forgetting people's names when I see, because for years, like I've been doing this for so long that I would say that to new clients all the time. So you're right. Like it's sometimes it's just that mindset, that reprogram of like, I'm not choosing that. I'm not choosing to be that anymore. I'm not a forgetful person. I'm not going to be those things. And I'm going to make the action to be the opposite. So I feel you, girl.
That's what we on. That's what we on. I'm gonna try to use that energy to say that I answer text messages and I answer calls. Cause
it's easy to say that too. Like, I be busy. Y'all know I don't be answering. Nope. Not gonna
we
say
ain't doing that no more. That don't mean flood my shit. I'm telling y'all right now. But that does mean that I'm working on myself.
Don't change your expectations of me. Just let me work on me.
I'm working.
Well,
this has been great.
It's been really
I know we could talk for forever.
Broke this seal for you.
I know.
We broke the seal. We broke.
High five. I feel like this was the perfect, like, what were you saying?
I said thank you so much for having me. I feel so good. Oh, hi, Pat. Look,
hey. I ain't seen you in a long time.
It happened to me the first time. I was trying to scroll through to look at everybody's comments, and I swiped out of the live. So now I ain't touching.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
Happened. So.
Okay. Yeah, y'all. This has been great doing this with y'all. Like, I hope that you all are enjoying this conversation.
Yeah.
There's plenty more conversations to have. To be honest with you, me and Kayla have these conversations often. But she'll probably be back on here sooner than you know. And also make sure you go follow her. Her content is amazing. And the way that she works with like dog owners and the dog, it feels very spiritual, to be honest with you. It is very intuitive, very in tuned energy.
Yeah, I feel that when I'm with people. And that's one thing, you know, if you are watching this and curious, if you're like, oh, I have a dog, maybe I need her help. I am very much focused on you. So if you are interested in getting dog training help, any advice, I'm here for you. I'm here for you before I'm here for your dog. And that is not something you hear often from dog trainers. So know that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if you can leave the folks.
Okay. How do I do this?
No, wait.
Oh, like you was about, I thought you were saying leave the folks
alone. No, I ain't about to like kick you out like that. One last tiny thing, right? If you can leave the folks with like one nugget to take with them, you know, as they're starting on their journey of like putting, you know, creating their own magic, you know, taking their own actions so they can create their magic, what would they be?
I think if I could say one nugget out of all the things that I tell y'all, if I could say one thing, it would be to show up in whatever it is that you're trying to show up in with as much authenticity as possible.
Mm.
Like, don't be afraid. If you are quirky, you have weird habits, if feel like, oh, I don't know if people are going to like this. Like, you have to just completely throw that shit out the way and show up as yourself, because people are going to vibe with that.
Mm.
People, whether you offer a service, a product, whether you offer some type of assistance, knowledge, it doesn't matter what it is. People want to understand and get to know you. So whatever you're going to show up and do, however you're going to do it, show up like with as much authenticity as possible.
Mm.
Just yourself. Like, I will tell you, for me, that nervous to show up as myself. Like, oh, I don't want people to know I smoke weed, and I don't know if people are gonna like me if they see that I use tools for dogs. And immediately I was like, you know what? It goes back to what's for me is gonna be for me. So when you show up authentically you're gonna attract everything really for you. So
Mm. Mm. Ugh. Sorry, I was telling you about my dream earlier, right?
yeah, you were.
And I'm not gonna get. I told you I have a lot
See
of.
how we just keep going, y'all. We will.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm gonna say this one
we,
second.
yeah.
So in my dream was basically something similar, right? I was in a dream and I had another dream. Where in that dream I was able to see myself throughout the years, like actually see myself as a high schooler, see myself as a middle schooler, see myself as a toddler, elementary kid, like a baby. Like I saw my face, my everything. But what I saw was that throughout the years, like when I was older, I was a lot more conformed, and I was like, oh, how do I show up in this space? I don't know. I don't want to bother these people. I don't want to show them that I'm a little weird or I'm a little quirky. I don't want to, like, I was trying so hard to fit in. But as the time like went on and I was getting younger and younger, I saw myself like just being fucking me, like, I'm fine, like being me, right? And when I woke up out of that dream into the other dream, there was someone there that was like, that was a gift for you as you're on your new journey. That's for you, yeah. Right? And I was trying to figure out what that meant, but then it came to me, it was like, show up as you.
As you.
Don't get on this live and show up as nobody else. Bitch, I have dreams. I can't help it. I don't even want to help it. It's glorious. It helps me guide my life.
Gift for you.
Uh-oh. Shit. I think she's gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
Like, I have dreams. I love having deep conversations with people. I am very loud. There's a recording of me saying, I love my big mouth as a kid. I don't know, y'all. This is just who I am. And can y'all hear me? Hello? Please, God. Damn it. Are y'all still here? I really can't understand. Oh, y'all still here. Okay, my bad. I don't know if she's gonna join again. I'm gonna wait till she requests it. But what I was saying is like I'm me. I'm like I'm quirky. I'm a little weird. I have dreams and I have premonitions and shit be coming true. And I'm done with like not allowing that to be a part of who I am. Because I'm afraid of like what the fuck somebody gonna say. Like, I don't give a fuck about y'all. No disrespect. Not like that. I care about you. But I don't care enough to stop myself from living my best self and being who I am to tailor that anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, I love dressing up. I like being a little extra. I like being loud. That's gonna be me. So that's how the fuck I'm gonna show up. I don't know where Kayla went. But before we have like held y'all for a really long time. So before we get off of here, I just want to say that I'm really grateful that all of y'all joined, that y'all stayed in this live this whole time, that y'all have enjoyed yourselves and really, like, hopefully you found nuggets, right? Little nuggets that resonate with you and that feel good with you. And if this is something that you want more of, follow both of us really, because she has her own nuggets of wisdom, but definitely follow and be here for the journey, because this year is going up. It's going up, and I want y'all to be here to see it. And I want y'all to be here to get the nuggets and get what you're supposed to get. Next week, the same time, I am having an amazing woman on named Jania, and she's good with numbers. And what I mean is, like, you ever, like, I don't know, you sitting at your desk and you keep seeing 1111 everywhere, and you're like, why the hell I keep seeing this? Or like 2222, or like 333. Like, you're seeing these repeated numbers all the time and you just don't know why you're seeing it. She's one of those people that'll help you figure that out. And it's just a natural gift of hers. And she actually don't even talk about it too much, but I begged her to come on here next week to talk about that. So that's something that we'll be doing. I'm excited for y'all to see it. Yeah, I don't know what happened this time either, Kayla. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for y'all to see it. I'm excited for y'all to be a part of the journey. So join, you know, be a part of this. Set your calendars for next week. Just go ahead and just put it in your phone that this is going to happen every week. Because the shit is gonna be dope. And if you are interested, or you know somebody that you feel like would be really good for being on here, send me a DM. Like, slide in my DMs real good. Like, slide in there and we can work it out. So love y'all. I hope y'all really have an amazing night. Thank you for staying on here as long as you have. And peace. I'm gonna try to figure out, what time? 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Please put that in your calendar. It's gonna be good. And like I said, if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that could be on here, let me know. Let's do it. Let's do it. But know that if I do it, like I'm gonna do it. So bring your energy. You get what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Love y'all. I'm gonna figure out how to exit this and still say this live. Please pray for me. Bye-bye. How do I say? Pray for me. Shit. Y'all, before I go, if I exit out of this, will it ask me to save later, or do I need to like push something now? Anybody know that? No? We're just gonna figure it out? All right. Fingers crossed.